Well, finally, a little bit of good news in the UK's rail industry. On the 31st of October this year, plans to close ticket offices at multiple railway stations were dropped. Not only that, but having spoken to a few contacts within the rail industry about the news, the legislation that protects the station staff in line with said ticket offices is also to remain. So in many ways, it looks like job security for many within the industry is looking more promising than it was 12 or even 4 months ago at this point. Those of you who voiced your concerns either in the comments section to my previous videos on the subject or via the official channels, looks like 750,000 voices to Transport Focus and London Travel Watch have been vindicated. Transport Secretary Mark Harper has been quoted saying, "We have engaged with accessibility groups throughout this process and listened carefully to passengers as well as my colleagues in Parliament. The proposals that have resulted from this process do not meet the high thresholds set by ministers, and so the government has asked the train operators to withdraw their proposals." So it looks like the ticket offices shall remain open, at least for the foreseeable future. I suppose the thing to fear now, if not for me but the people within the rail industry, is if there are cuts proposed to the service, where are those cuts likely to be made instead? Will conductors still be under threat? Is DOO still going to be pushed by the train operating companies? If we dig deep enough, was this decision made not by wanting to end the disputes after more than 18 months of constant back and forth, but by wanting to regain some public support in line of the COVID inquiry that's been hogging the headlines? Either way, it's a baby step in the right direction for the rail industry and the passengers who use it. Speaking for myself, it comes as a relief to me because people can finally stop asking me about it and I can go back to talking about what I would like to talk about on the channel. Now, none of this coverage is meant to be a propaganda piece to attack your local politician or train operating company, and it's for the best that you don't do that, so please don't dehumanize anyone in this dispute. But I would like to suggest that this isn't the end, but hopefully the beginning of the end. With a general election coming up next year, the public sector at large and the rail industry in particular are likely to be big political talking points. So I would ask, nay, implore anyone who sees this, engage in the discourse, express your concerns, make your voices heard, but please don't get fractious with anybody about it. I appreciate that some people have said that keeping ticket offices is outdated and costs the network money, but for those who are disabled or with learning difficulties, those who are looking for the best value journey possible, those who are struggling to adapt to modern technology, or those who feel much safer with humans around to deter antisocial behaviour and crime instead of machines, the decision to suddenly shut them all down took many of them by surprise. Yeah, change is inevitable and can be beneficial, but too much change all at once, particularly in the name of progress when it's actually cost-cutting, can be damaging, especially in the long run. And for those who work in the rail industry, if the ticket offices went, the legal obligation to retain most of the staff would have gone with them, which could have opened up all kinds of negative influence from people of a non-railway background. To anybody watching this within the rail industry, I hope you feel vindicated by this decision hitting the buffers. So in the interest of keeping the discourse going, what do you think about the news to reverse the ticket office closures? Do you think it was a good idea or a bad idea? What stories do you have of rail staff helping you out when machines failed? Or do you simply have time on your hands and you have nothing else to discuss? Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Or in the pub, seeing as there's finally something to celebrate. Mine's a pint of Spitfire. I'm Chris, and I'm here to gauge the issue.
I lost my mind in lockdown. Time and time again, I lost my mind in lockdown.